Hello, welcome to Art and Yoga from Home, brought to you by Munson Williams Proctor Arts Institute in Utica, New York. I'm Mary Murray. I'm the curator of modern and contemporary art. It's my great pleasure to participate in this program. I'm so pleased you're here as well. Thanks for joining. Today I'll talk about a work of art in the museum's collection, an oil painting by Piet Mondrian, and at 10:30 yoga practice begins. And I invite you to please make a donation if that's available to you, and that will help us continue to bring this class to you. Thank you. It is July 25th, 2020, and I can confess that I am feeling somewhat discouraged about the state of affairs around the world and in the United States. The coronavirus continues to wreak havoc. We are seeing alarming numbers rising, numbers of cases, and very unhappily, numbers of people dying from the virus. The economic impact of people resting in place is truly taking its toll. Unemployment benefits from the federal government are about to run out, as is the moratorium on evictions for people who rent their homes. And this has the potential for affecting something like 30 million people. These are dark times indeed. I am reminded of some counsel from one of our former yoga instructors, Barbara Hayes Klein, who reminded us that with the light also comes shadow, and it's important to embrace that. This past week on July 17th, we lost a lion of the civil rights movement, John Lewis, a congressman who passed away at the age of 80 from pancreatic cancer. I can only hold on to Congressman Lewis's tenacity, his spirit in seeking out the good, his guiding light that can lead us forward. I have to say that in the tragedy of deaths of African Americans at the hands of law enforcement, Breonna Taylor and George Floyd most recently, we've seen a resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement, and I am truly hopeful that this is sparking and catching, and that we are going to see some systemic change. It feels like a hopeful future, even as dark as things are now. And we can use the beacon that is Congressman Lewis's legacy to guide us. If you're like me, if you do the kind of work I do, you believe that the arts are restorative. I invite you to come and visit Munson Williams Proctor Museum, because that's another new development in recent weeks. We are now open to the public on a regular basis. You may wish to visit your old favorites. Many people invoke The Voyage of Life. You might have another work of art in mind that particularly resonates with your spirit. Perhaps because of everything that's been happening, you will bring a new perspective or a new understanding to a work of art. Regardless, I invite you to come. If you've never been here or if you're not familiar, you will be happy to know that making a spontaneous visit is quite easy. We charge no admission here. It is very safety-minded at this moment. We have all protocols in place for social distancing. We have masks available if you haven't a mask, because you can't enter the building without. We have hand cleaner available at stations throughout our organization and one-way traffic flow through the galleries. You can be reassured of a very safe experience. If you have more time, consider packing a lunch or buying a boxed lunch from our cafe, which is open now. And you can enjoy a little picnic under the trees in the grove and reflect on the artwork that you've just been looking at. As I say, I truly believe it can be restorative, and there's something constant about a work of art that is reassuring in very unconstant times, in very difficult, fraught moments such as these, where it's impossible to understand what the future is going to be. This past week, I, for one, have been looking at Mondrian's painting of the tree that was created in the early years of the 20th century, around the time of World War I, a time of great upheaval when the best of human scientific mind could create poison gas that helped eradicate a generation of young men who perhaps lived years in the trenches as they fought in Western Europe, one country against another. Mondrian's tree, by contrast to all of that upheaval, to me has a projection of real balance. Look at it with me. At the heart of the composition, there is rich blue, dark red that goes to pink, and a very painterly, almost heart-beating center of the tree. And of course, the symbolism of the tree is one of deep roots and wide branches that we connect almost to family. If you look, the paint will thin at the periphery. Around the margins, we can even see the unpainted canvas. So it creates a very interesting visual surface. And Mondrian has refined that visual plane by creating a series across the surface of horizontal and vertical markers. And it's almost as if he is displaying what he perceives to be an underlying structure in nature. And that underlying structure is a symbol of what he believes to be a utopian, harmonious balance. We seek balance in troubled times. I wish you good spirits and good health, and I wish you an ability to embrace the shadows without becoming too discouraged, and I hope that you're able to find those things that will help you find your balance. Until next time, namaste.